Hey, everybody. All right, so in this lesson, we are going to talk about what to do if you're ever shorthanded, which we never want that to happen, what to do if you're teaching a larger group, which once again, we're going to be working to try to keep those numbers down. But if you ever are teaching a larger number of students and you're trying to figure out how to engage all of them at the same time, I got a few tips and tricks. So we are like big group lessons all together. They suck. They're not great. Whoops. All right. Whew. All right. Having some fun. Keeping it live. Keeping it fresh. They suck though, right? Big group lessons when it comes to sound trap or trying to teach these things. It's really difficult. Doesn't generally work. Students aren't really engaged. It's okay to give like a quick 1 minute lesson or something like that, but most of the time you want to keep things to small groups. Now, let's say you're responsible for teaching 6 students somehow, right? That's a tough small group. So, what you can do, we're going to be talking about how to teach using videos to support you and act kind of as another teacher. So, what I like doing when I teach at Belmont, which is one of the high schools that we have a program at, we have a lot of students, let's say 16 or 18. You don't have to worry about teaching a number that big. But what I do is I break the students. Students all learn at different paces. They learn at different speeds. They have different interests, right? It can get kind of tricky trying to figure out how to best support them when they're learning at different speeds. So what I like to do is I set everyone up into breakout rooms and I share with them a link based on what they want to work on. Or I have a document that has a list of links to videos that they can work on. But I like kind of being the curator as well if a student doesn't know where to start. So let's say you're in a program and you have 6 students and you have to teach everybody. What I would do is you still do your introduction, you talk to everybody, let them know what we're going to be doing. But the way we use videos to support ourselves is, let's say it's everyone's first time. There's a list of videos that are in the document that you access this. So let me share my screen. Actually, no, I'm already got that with Screencastify. All right, cool. So in that document, right, I have a whole bunch of lists of student videos they can work out of. But for programs that are students might not be there for a long time, I kind of made a bunch of quick lessons, right? How to make a beat out of loops, how to make a simple beat on Drum Machine Designer, how to make a simple bass line, how to make a simple melody, and how to make your own bass line. So those are 5 short little videos that oftentimes, if you're doing one-off lessons where students might only be there for 2 or 3 weeks, these are some of the lessons you're probably going to be hitting. So what you can do is, if you have to have multiple breakout rooms and you can only be in one breakout room at a time, what you can do is say, hey, here is a video. So let's say you have a group of 6 students, right? You can share with them 2 videos, right? You can share with them making a beat out of loops. So what I would do is I'd come over and say, all right, everyone, what we're going to work on today is we're going to work on some of the basics of sound trap. All right. So we're going to work on trying to make a simple beat out of something called loops, which there's a link to the video right here. And we're also going to be working on making a beat using a drum machine designer on sound trap. So I'm going to put the link for that right here in the chat as well. All right. So everyone has the links to both of those videos. And what's going to happen is I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between both breakout rooms. So I'm going to be in one breakout room and I'm going to give the lesson. I'll talk with the students one-to-one and I'll be more in depth about what's going on and give that human component. But while I'm in that one breakout room, the students will have access to these videos. So they can click the video and hopefully it'll load. There we go. Sorry, come on. There we go. Hey everyone. So in this lesson, we are going to learn a little bit about the basics of sound trap, as well as how to make a beat using something called loops. And so they'll watch that, and each one of those videos has an assignment in it. And when I say assignment, it's like, something for them to try out. And I outline what those things are. So for the second one, or the first one, right, they're going to be making a simple beat using 3 loops. For the second one, they're going to make a simple beat with a skeleton where the kick's on 1 and the snare's on 3, and then they add an additional notes to fill it out. So what happens is, while you're in a breakout room, right, let's say, let me get back to Zoom, 1 second. All right, so I'm in Zoom. I make my breakout room. I'm going to assign Matthew Kerr to that breakout room, open the rooms. Right, let me get Matthew Kerr to join that. So they're in the breakout room. All right. And then I'll have a student in breakout room 2 as well. Right. So what I do is they have the links to the videos. They know the assignment. And then what they'll do is they'll watch the video, be working on it, and then you pick whatever room you want to get started in. So let's say I'll start with breakout room 2, which there's a student in there, hypothetically. So here we go. So I'll say, "Hey, everyone, how's it going?" You'll act as if you're in your your normal breakout room. You'll talk with the students. You'll show them what the lesson is. You'll do all of the good tendencies that we talked about, right? As far as asking questions, having the students engaged, doing checks for understanding with your video, right? But while you're doing that, the students in the other breakout room that you're not with, they have a video to be working through. And what's nice is you're kind of giving a lesson, in the same realm or idea of that video. So everyone's supposed to be on the same track. And what happens is same track. And what's nice is when you go to leave to go to that other breakout room to support them, you'll leave them with those videos. They'll still have access to those videos and say, "Hey guys, if you need any extra help while I'm in the other breakout room, be watching those videos. These videos are like for your support." Okay. And they can work it at their own pace. So, okay, I went over my lesson. This is how you make a beat out of loops. All right, Joe killed it. Steve killed it. Awesome job. You do all the good tendencies that we already talked about, and then you click breakout room, and then you're going to go to where your other students are. And see, there I got my student Bob, right? And I'll talk to my student. I'll say, "Hey, great to see everyone. How'd the videos go, right? What video were you working on? And then what part of the beat were you working on?" And then knowing what's in that video, like I said, they're 5 short videos. They're all pretty simple. You can ask them questions based on what they were learning. So you say, "Oh, is making a beat out of loops making sense? Do you have any questions?" And you'll kind of pick up on where they are at in the video, and then you can take over and you can start being like the teacher again, and go over, like, once again, all the good tips and tricks or all the good tendencies of what we were talking about as far as how to lead teaching in small breakout rooms, right? Doing checks for understandings with students, right? Modeling it. You can model it again in person, right? But be asking them questions. The videos aren't a perfect substitute for a teacher, right? But they are nice because they allow students to work at their own pace, and they allow students to be working on something while you might not be able to be present in that moment. All right. So once again, the way you access those videos, I have the quick lessons right here. And what's nice in these lessons, it says what the student should be working on with it, right? So for that first one, what a student should have completed from the video: a simple beat using 3 loops. The second one, it shows a student should have completed a simple drum beat with a skeleton on that has a kick on 1 and a snare on 3. They should have added additional notes to fill out the beat, and they should have been able to loop the beat and change the tempo, right? So all those different lessons that I gave up here as far as what are good one-off lessons to try, I made student videos without my face, without my ugly mug, and made them shorter and quicker, and made it for the students to support them, and gave them like more action items on how to do it. So, and I have that for making out of loops, drum machine designer, bassline, melody, making your own bassline, right? So, and it tells you exactly what you can expect if students have been working on with that video, so you can pick up. All right. And like I said, these are nice because they support us while we have to be in a breakout room with another group of students. Big lessons, they're clunky. They're not great. Students tune out. If students aren't either being able to work at their own pace or getting to have more one-to-one interaction or smaller group interaction, it's hard for us to stay, us as people, right? It's hard for us to stay engaged. So these videos are good supplements when we make breakout rooms so students can work at their own pace. And in addition, if you have like a youth worker or anything like that in your room, they can be an additional support where they can watching the videos with the students. Okay. So once again, that is how to use videos. Also, in addition, if you are in a program that's a longer program, you can share with them a document, like a student document that will have a list of all these different videos that they can be working through. If they want to work through different piano stuff and go deeper on it, right, and understand what piano is, we have a ton of videos on that. If they want to be working through at their own pace, making drum beats and being more complex with that, quantizing, stuff like that, making a beat with multiple parts, all of these different things, they can be working through that at their own pace if they want. But that's generally for programs that students might be in that program for a little bit longer. So this works really well for me at Belmont. This could work well for you at YSI, depending. But it might not always be the best if you're at NET and someone's only there for 2 or 3 times. But it is also good too if, like, let's say a student's like, I have a little keyboard already and I want to be working on piano. Boom, we have a bunch of piano videos that they can be working on. All right. So once again, that is how to use videos to support the teaching that you are doing. Like I said, if you ever shorthanded and you have to teach eight students, get them into breakout rooms, assign some videos, and then teach like normally in one session, and then leave them with the video, and then go to the other breakout room, teach normally, and have them have the videos in the other room. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody, and I'll talk to everybody soon.